Recently, I literally gave all the cash in my wallet for a piece of art on the back of a ticket. Why'd I do that? And why is it important for 3 specific types of people to be willing to go out of their way to encourage a young person? Let's talk about that today on Geek Devotions. Hello, Devoted Geeks. Welcome to Geek Devotions, a show from Devoted Geeks who are devoted to letting you know that you're loved. I'm Dalton. I'm so glad you hit the play button today. If you're new to our show, we take geek pop culture items like movies, video games, and comics, and we use them to let you know that you're loved. So if you don't watch past this moment, know this: we love you, care about you. There is a plan and a purpose for your life. Don't give up. So I said in my intro, recently I literally gave all the cash in my wallet for this piece of art right here. Now, why did I do that? Well, let me give you some backstory. Recently, I was having lunch with a friend of mine at a local restaurant, and as we're in there, we're just hanging out, and I see on the back wall behind the register a series of pictures drawn on the tickets in different anime characters. And as I was looking at them, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And I asked, hey, who did this? And I found out it was like the daughter of the owner. So that's cool. That's really neat. Later that afternoon, or that evening rather, I went back with my family and to eat there, and I'm talking about the pictures. I went ahead and I made a post on our Instagram. By the way, Instagram, Geek Devotions. And I made a post about them, just saying, hey, this is really cool. Great job to whoever the local artist is. And like 10 minutes later, the owner comes out, goes, hey, are you with Geek Devotions? Like, yeah. And she starts talking to me about the art and how that her daughter has been doing this. She's 16 years old, and she's been trying to find a way to encourage her daughter. She's like, this is something big. She loves doing this, and I've been trying to encourage her, but she's just not sure. And I said, well, I think it's great. She did a fantastic job. And so I immediately it was put in my spirit. I wanted to bless this little girl with this because I wanted to encourage her in this. So I went into my wallet, and all I had on me was $6. $6 was all I had. And so I was like, hey, can I buy this off of her? Like one of the pieces of art on the wall for $6? And she's like, what? I was like, yes. I will give you hard cash right now for one of these tickets off the wall. So she texts her daughter, and her daughter's freaking out. She's like, she's freaking out. She's never had this happen before. I was like, well, she's doing great, and I want to encourage her in this. So can I buy one of them? So I ended up buying this one right here. We hang this actually up here at the house. I love it. It's cool. It's a great little drawing. She did a great job of drawing these characters out, and I love it. And I did this because I wanted to encourage her. I was going out of my way to make sure this young lady knew that somebody sees what she's doing. And I don't know what's going to come out of this. I hope that it has encouraged her, that it sparks some more creativity in her. Maybe this will open doorways for her to do things down the road. I don't know. All I know is I took the initiative to encourage somebody. And I want to encourage you guys. People need this. People need encouragement. They need people to go out of their way to see folks and go, hey, this is something special about you, and I want you to know that I see it, and that there's growth to come out of this in your life. Which leads me to the point of today's video. There are 3 groups of people specifically that I feel like need to be intentional about encouraging young people, encouraging the youth that are out there. Not just youth, but obviously older folks too need encouragement, but I'm speaking specifically to a younger generation. And those 3 people I find in the scriptures wrapped around one particular group of individuals. And so I want to encourage you guys, stick with me as we kind of walk through that. Some of you may be familiar with Timothy, who we find in the Bible. He was a young man, a young leader in the early church that Paul took under his wing and mentored. And looking at Timothy, the life of Timothy, there are 3 groups of individuals specifically that spoke into his life and encouraged him. The first one that we find is Timothy's mom and grandmother. The scripture specifically said that they actually are the ones who imparted their faith to him. They're the first ones to teach him, which, by the way, is a fundamental aspect of life. The first teachers of a child is his parents. So the first group of individuals I want to encourage young people are the parents, the family. Family needs to be intentional about encouraging other individuals, especially our young ones, raising them up well, speaking life into them, speaking hope, seeing great things inside them, saying, hey, this is awesome. You should continue doing that. If you have a young person in your life, a son, a daughter, or a niece, or a nephew, a grandchild in your life, and there's something in them you see, encouraging them. If they're taking interest in hunting, take them out hunting, show them something. Sports, take them to do sporting stuff. If they're into arts and to different things, take interest in that. You don't have to understand it. They just need you to see that it's something that they're passionate about, and you take interest in them taking interest in that. The second group of people is the community. When you see how Paul even became aware of Timothy, is because people in the community said, hey, have you seen this kid Timothy? He's really something special. He has a talent. He has something special about him. Paul, you need to go check him out. The community at large needs to be willing to encourage young people. If you're part of a church, you may not be in youth ministry, but you are responsible for seeing young people around you and encouraging them and challenging them. It's going, hey, that is so cool that you're doing that. Hey, I like how you're doing this. Hey, I like this aspect about you. Keep it up. It's a wonderful thing. They need to hear that, not just from the family, but from the community at large. Years ago, we had a young lady in our church who was she was taking interest in some art stuff, and I noticed she had a sketch pad she's drawing. I have an affinity for art already. I love art. And so I said, hey, that's really cool. Start up a conversation. Several years later, I'm great friends with her brother, her family. I have a kinship with them. I love them. I speak life into them every chance I get to. A relationship has built because I took interest in that aspect, period. And it was great. It's been fantastic. And she and her brother are doing some fantastic. In fact, her brother just graduated from high school, and we were there last night, and we celebrate him in the heat, mind you. And I don't do heat. Why? Because I've taken interest in this family. As just part of the community, I wasn't their youth pastor or anything like that. I was just somebody in their community encouraging them. Other people in your community need you to see them and encourage them. The third group of people that need to be taking interest in young people, speaking life into them, seeing what they're interested in, and encouraging them is leaders. You leaders who are watching this right now, this is essential for whatever organization you're part of, whether you're part of a church or a bigger thing. You need to be taking interest in people that are around you that are younger, because they need to know that they're being seen and be encouraged to operate in the giftings that they have. You need to be willing to go to the youth in your church, pastor, and go, hey, I love this aspect about you. Not because you want to use the tools that they have in hand, but because you see something inside of them. You see something that they're interested in, and that you are taking interest in them by taking interest in that. Understand this. They don't want you taking interest because you can use them. They want you taking interest because it shows that you care about them. Great illustration about this. Several years ago, I was on a school campus, and I was on my way to what's called First Priority, which is a school campus club. As I'm walking along, I see a student alone in a corner by themselves, completely by themselves, and not really looking well. There's something about them that wasn't right. And so I stopped real quick and I said, hey, how's it going? And they kind of, gave me the cold shoulder. But I noticed on their backpack, they had a whole bunch of characters from Bleach, which, by the way, Bleach was already over with. I was surprised that they had this. It's like, is that Khan? Which is a character from the show. And they're like, yes. Struck up an interesting conversation. We laughed, we talked. The student lit up during that conversation. I said, hey, I'm on my way to this thing called First Priority. Would you like to come with us? And they said, yeah, sure. That student had a great time. They found some encouragement during that day because I took interest in them and in using something that they were interested in to help bring things to life, to bring some stuff up. It's not a matter of you trying to use them. It's not a matter of you trying to draw things out of them because for your own gain. Please understand that. That's not what we're doing. We're breathing life into people so they can grow and become what God's called them to be. And sometimes that just means calling out what's inside of them and encouraging them in it. Really, when Paul first met Timothy, that's what it was. Yes, he was told to go check out Timothy because he's already doing some stuff and he worked out these things with him. But it was taking interest in him, developing a fantastic relationship to the point where it was almost a father-son-like situation. Now, I'm not telling you, leaders, it's going to be like that all the time. But what I am saying is that you taking interest in a student and a child for just a few minutes, noticing something that they're interested in, noticing something that they're doing, and encouraging it, can change the trajectory of their life forever. This piece of art is special to me because it encouraged a young lady. I gave all the money in my wallet from a moment to encourage a young lady. And if that young lady happens to be watching this, hey, you did great. Like really, I'm impressed with your skill. You did fantastic, and I hope you continue this. I hope you continue to walk this out and you grow in your skill. You do some amazing things. Even if what you do down the road isn't dealing with art and manga and anime, but this has spurred you, I'm just excited to have that opportunity to encourage you for this small moment. Keep it up, all right? And I hope those of you watching who are listening to this, I hope this has encouraged you, challenged you. Look around you. Who in your community needs encouragement? Who in your family needs encouragement? Actively go out and encourage them today. Question of the day, leave a comment down below. Tell me about a time somebody encouraged you out of the blue. Like out of the blue came to you, said, hey, this is something awesome about you. Leave a comment and let me know. I love hearing these stories. They're fantastic and they're always encouraging to read. I also invite you guys, hey, be part of what we do here at Geek Devotions through our Facebook group, Devoted Geek Life, through our Facebook page, Geek Devotions. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look for Geek Devotions. And also do me a favor, share this video out with somebody. Like just go, hey, hit the share button and send it to a leader, send it to somebody that you know that is in a place to influence other individuals. And just let's build a culture. Let's build a mindset of encouraging other folks. Because when we do that, we're going to see some amazing things take place in our communities. Speaking of some encouragers, I want to thank some amazing encouragers in Celeste and I's lives, and that's our devoted Patreon geeks. We have a lot of people in our life who encourage us through prayers and through conversations and friendships, and we appreciate every one of them. But we want to give a special thank you to our devoted Patreon geeks who help support Geek Devotions on a monthly basis. Each month, for as little as $1 a month, they help to keep things going. They pay for our website, the podcast, equipment, all the things that we do, and we are so thankful and blessed to have them in our life. So thank you, devoted Patreon geeks. If you'd like to be a devoted Patreon geek, go to our website, geekdevotions.com, where you'll find all the information there. Like I said, guys, thank you guys so much for being part of our lives. Thank you for being part of Geek Devotions, for watching this video all the way through. You're a rock star. You're the real MVPs who got to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much. Know that Celeste and I genuinely love you, and we care about you. What we do here would not happen without you guys that are watching this. It doesn't matter if you help support us financially or not. You watching this video, being part of our conversations in Devoted Geek Life and our Discord channel, this happens because of you guys. And we appreciate you. We love you. And God loves you. He cares about you. And I cannot wait to talk with some of you guys even more and encourage you. Until next time, stay devoted. Peace and love.